Welcome to the Find Your Exit podcast, where the leading authority on buying, selling, fixing, and growing companies, Michelle Seiler Tucker, is dedicated to helping you find the path to retire rich and move on to your next adventure by exiting your business for the desired dream price you deserve. Get ready to find your exit with your host, Michelle Seiler Tucker.
Hello and welcome to Find Your Exit podcast. Today we're going to be talking about one of the most important subjects. I believe that everybody should listen to this, and this is about unmasking the truth about small businesses. Most people don't really understand small business. There are 30.2 million businesses in the United States. 99% are small businesses employing half of the workforce. You know, even before COVID-19, small businesses were in danger of going out of business. It used to be that 95% of all businesses would go out of business in the first 1 to 5 years. Well, when I wrote Exit Rich in 2019, I did the research again and learned that the business landscape has changed dramatically from when I wrote my first book, Sell Your Business for More Than It's Worth, in 2013. So now it's only 30% of those business owners will go out of business for 5 years, only 30%. But get this, out of over 27 million businesses, over 70% of those businesses will go out of business after being in business for 10 years. Now think about that. If you're out there and you have a business and you've been in business for 10, 15, 20, 25 years, you're at more risk of going out of business than if you were just in business for the first 5 years. So these are startling statistics, and you really need to pay attention to this. It's scary. It really is scary. You know, you hear in the media about the big box stores that go out of business all the time. You hear about Toys R Us and Kmart, JCPenney's. But guess what you don't hear about? You don't hear about the small businesses going out of business on every street corner, in every town, in every state across our great nation. You know, it's unfortunate because when these businesses close after being in business for 10 years, most of these owners are baby boomers who have poured their heart, their soul, their energy, their efforts into their business over several decades. And many of these owners are going to be forced into selling their business for pennies on the dollar, or worse, having to close their business, or even worse yet, having to file for bankruptcy. And when a business owner files for bankruptcy, guess what? They don't just lose their family assets. They lose their business they don't just lose their business assets, they lose their family assets as well. Because most business owners commingle their business and their family assets. So they'll lose their family home. They'll lose all their family assets because most business owners will commingle those assets by signing a personal guarantee. Think about it. Think about the personal guarantees you sign for a lease or vehicles or an SBA loan. In addition to that, they'll mortgage their personal assets or mortgage their family home in which to get a loan to use their home as collateral. So they're mingling those family and personal assets, which what does that do? That pierces the corporate veil. And when you pierce the corporate veil and you have to file Chapter 11, you have to file bankruptcy, then they're going to take your personal assets as well. So this is very, very sad to me. These are startling statistics, and it really is my passion, my life's work, my mission to help as many business owners as I possibly can save their businesses, plan their exit. That's why we started a podcast called Find Your Exit, so they can plan their exit and sell their business for their desired sales price, so they can finally enjoy, so you can finally enjoy the life that you've, worked so hard for, and the sacrifices that you've made along the way. I mean, think about it. Business owners do what? They pour their heart, their soul, their energy, their resources, everything into growing their business. And then when it's time to enjoy the fruits of your labor, You want to be able to do that. You want to be able to retire and go see the world and fulfill all of your dreams. So it's my mission to help as many of these business owners as I possibly can. And business owners ask me all the time, well, Michelle, why do businesses go out of business? Well, the number one reason that businesses go out of business is lack of innovation. Lack of innovation and lack of marketing. They stop innovating. They stop marketing. And they stop asking their client, what do you need? How have your needs changed? How have your wants changed? Because if you've been in business for 15 years and you keep doing business the same way that you've always done it without going back to your consumers, asking them, have your needs changed? Have your desires changed? Have your wants changed? And you continue to do things the way you've always done, then you're going to end up losing that client base because you stopped innovating, you stopped marketing, and you stopped asking your customers, what do you need? And I always say that the brand that makes it easiest to do business with them is the brand that wins. Think about Amazon. They have completely changed the way that consumers do business. They've completely changed the way that consumers purchase products. Consumers can purchase practically anything naked from the comfort of their home. And guess what? And that product is at your front door within 2 days on Prime, free shipping. So the brand that makes it the easiest for the consumer to do business with them is a brand that wins. Therefore, you must evaluate your client base, find out what their needs are, and how have they changed. Become what I always call the solutions expert and innovate to meet their demand. If you don't, guess what? Your competitors will. It's that simple. So ask yourself, what business are you in? And what business should you be in? Now think about that again. What business are you in and what business should you be in? I don't know if you've ever watched the movie The Founder, but if you haven't, you should. It's one of the best movies ever based upon the McDonald's story. And Ray Kroc basically took over this empire. Well, it wasn't an empire at all. He grew an empire and took it over from the McDonald brothers. So Ray Kroc was in the bank and he had already mortgaged his house, again, commingling personal assets with business assets. So he had already taken out a mortgage on his house, but he was upside down in assets and inventory. And he was at the bank trying to borrow more money. And the loan officer said, no, what collateral do you have? And he had none. So there was a gentleman that was sitting around the corner in a cubicle, and he overheard the conversation. And he followed Ray Kroc out of the bank. And he followed him down the street. He said, sir, I was listening to your whole conversation. I think I can help you. And Ray goes, what do you mean? He goes, well, what business are you in? And Ray said, I'm in the restaurant business. I have restaurants. I have McDonald's. He said, no, wrong answer. What business should you be in? And Ray thought about it. He goes, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm in the restaurant business. And this gentleman said, you need to be in the real estate business. Because if you're in a real estate business, that's a game changer. Because you can go up and buy the land, build the property, lease it back to the franchisees. And if the franchisees are not compliant, guess what? You get to evict them and put another franchisee in there. So you have leverage, you have control, plus you have equity, which you can go borrow more money. That one question turned Ray Kroc's and McDonald's around dramatically. It catapulted them to the next level. They are now, McDonald's is the largest real estate holding company in the world. The largest. So think about that. One question, what business are you in and what business should you be in? Ask yourself, how can you innovate and pivot in which to stay relevant in the mind of your clients? Look at Apple. Apple computers. What business were they in? They were in a computer business, right? Steve Jobs returned and asked the question, what business are we in? What business should we be in? It's the most important question you should ask in your business. That one question led Apple to innovating the iPod, the iPhone, the iPad, iCloud, and iLife and iTunes. Completely revolutionary. It was a revolutionary move that completely catapulted them to the next level and put them on the top because they were in a computer business. What business are they in now? They're in a connection business because you're being connected by your iPhone, your iPod, your iPad, everything. It was revolutionary. And it was the biggest move that this company could make. So it took them from zero to hero very quickly by that one question. What business are we in? What business should we be in? And it completely catapulted their business to the next level. So one thing that Steve Jobs does so well that I really like is he doesn't ask clients, what do you need? What's your needs, what's your wants? He does something completely revolutionary, completely different, unique from anyone else, is he goes in and he goes in and asks the company the question. It's not about what the clients need and what the clients want. It is. But what if they don't even know what they want or what they need? Why don't we create it? We create the demand. We create the demand. Nobody was walking around with iPads and iPods and iPhones and all of this stuff before. Steve Jobs created the demand and everybody else followed. So look at your brand, because when Steve Jobs created the demand, it elevated the brand dramatically. Look at your business and ask, what demand can I create that my competition's not doing? What demand can I create that the consumers don't even know they need? Like Amazon. Nobody was really shopping from home and could virtually buy anything they want and have it delivered in a matter of 2 days, free shipping. But Amazon created that demand. So again, ask yourself, what business are you in and what business should you be in? This one question is transformational, not transactional, transformational. Take some time, do some soul searching, get into a quiet place and ask yourself, what business are you in? What business should you be in? Because again, this one question can make you millions, billions. Then pivot, innovate, market, and guess what? Take massive, massive, massive action. Massive action. That's what Steve Jobs did. That's what Ray Kroc did from McDonald's. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Let's start with asking the question. Then pivoting, then taking that massive action. So thank you so much for joining me on another episode of Find Your Exit. Can't wait to see you next time.
Thanks for listening to the Find Your Exit podcast. Don't forget to check out Michelle Seiler Tucker's Build to Sell Blueprint books and Exit Rich, along with more blogs, videos, and resources at findyourexit.org. Be sure to connect with Michelle on Facebook or LinkedIn and stay tuned for her next episode by subscribing in your favorite podcast player.